Yo, what's up? This is The Edge, and I got the privilege to have my boy, one of the guys that, that kind of tucked me under their wing when I was younger. Rohan Marley. Everybody know his father. Everybody know the significance of his father. But Rohan, to me, that's a whole nother level because it's personal with me and Rohan. Me and Rohan, we rolled out, and not too many times you get the older person to take a younger person and, you know, embrace them the way Rohan did. Rohan did that years ago. We both have University of Miami ties, and anybody that knows about the University of Miami know that we stick together. And this right here goes beyond football because we never played football together, but our bond has taken a whole nother level, and we go sharpens each other. So, Rohan, appreciate you coming on to create the life you want to live. That's like my mantra, And,
Yeah,
and Ro, you always been doing that, Ro.
I mean,
Ro, I'm
thank
talking
you.
about every time they say Ro the first one come through the U with the big what the truck was
The typhoon.
the typhoon truck.
And then I tell you one thing though, and this goes back way when from our connection, and that link that we linked up was because I watched you, as your elder brother, as an elder, of the school, and we played the same game, football. I'm talking. But then I watched how you played the game, and just watching how you're playing the game, and then watch how you challenge the game in regards to the system as far as how you go about, doing your thing. You did it the way that you wanted to do it. If there's a player that I can think about in my mind, and when I say, who's the realest, like who's like who's the realest, like who's one of them, like one of them ones, bro. Man, Edgerrin James. Ain't no what else to EJ. And I tell everybody this. Today, you don't see the kind of player like yourself. And what I mean by that, it does translate to like life, like we talk about right here. Create the life, Edgerrin, I've never seen you fall for a loss. Lost meaning
We don't take loss. But bro, part of
It's
the
a running
mindset.
back.
We don't take losses.
It's a running back thing. I'm talking.
No, but
it
even in
translate.
business, even in
it
business.
translate to day-to-day life.
I like
Edgerrin
that,
James
yes.
is a running back that falls forward, and when he's falling, he's creeping. He's like. He's getting like, I don't know how he does it, but he's always getting extra yards. Like, he's always like moving forward. Like, Edgerrin falls. He's not, Edgerrin don't, I've never seen anybody put Edgerrin backwards. Edgerrin is like, I don't know.
It's a mindset.
Edgerrin is the epitome of what I see. When you talk about running backs and you talk about like the Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Edgerrin James, those are the names where you find Edgerrin James as a back. But what I love though, is like watching Edgerrin, and then after that, them times, just like as a human being, just how you are, man. It's like
We rubbing
how
off
you
each
move,
other, man.
How you move, bro, is the way.
Man,
So
bro,
thank you for having me on this podcast, bro.
Man, bro, you give me good energy. Every time you give me some advice, I come back. Come back to the fam and I say, I implement it. Like I'm like, do it. I'm gonna do it like Ro. Ro do it. Ro do it big. Everybody don't know Ro. Ro do it big, man. Like I'm telling you. Ro don't do nothing small, but I don't know. At what point in your life that it was instilled in you that you was like, Ro, you always talk about being a king. You always talk about law and order. Everybody don't look at themselves as a king. But if anybody that comes around you, they're gonna leave that space and they're gonna feel like a king. Like where did that come from? At what part, of your life? I know your journey, a lot of people like to talk about, that's Bob Marley's son. Or road this, road that. But like, bro, it's like you have to have it in you. Like, bro, you don't like, bro, you guys, bro, you have drivers.
Yeah.
Bro got cleaning people. Bro don't lift a finger, man. I'm like, bro, like, you inspired me so much, man, because I take so much. Because I'm like, this is possible. It's where did that come from? Like what's the mindset of a person that says, man, look, I'm a king and I'm like really gonna live it. Like where did that come from?
What you're talking about, E, is like the thing we learn as a child, as Rastafari. So we as Rastafari people, we took on to the teachings of Haile Selassie I, who is a king, But it's no different than, as you say, it has to be inborn in you. But I think the time when this really happened for me was like, all right, trying to figure out how to be a man, play sports, do this. But after that stuff, I was like,
at what age though? Like around what age?
I gotta be around like I know when I was leaving like it's like them time, when I was leaving.
Because on your 20s,
but
like your 20s.
But not even so much in my 20s. It's got to be a little bit. It's going more down, in the it's got to be like getting to like the 30s, like in my 30s. Because one day I was like, wait a minute, all right, what am I gonna do? You can say in my 20s, because you have to like do it. I said, what am I gonna do? So when I look around, and I see everything I see with my eyes, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, a man built that. Like, wait. But this man was like once a baby that you have to clean his ass. He's like, he shit up himself, you clean him. So it's like, this man, like the person that created that is like, was once a child. And then another thing came to my mind. I'm like, all right. So when I think about what I'm taught by a person, I'm like, the person that's teaching me is 24. That's teaching me when I'm 15 or whatever age I am. So I'm like, wait a minute. That could not be the basis of my knowledge that I'm going to live and govern myself by what a 24-year-old is telling me.
They only got like a little gap.
Yeah, like just because you have a gap. You're 12, he's 24, or they are 24, and they're teaching you.
So the young teachers, they give you the basics.
They give you the basic. Right. But there comes a time when the basics that they give you is through their own experience. But there comes a time when your experience goes way beyond what they know of you because of your daily life. So I had to say, you know what? I had to learn from King His Majesty Haile Selassie I that every time I walk my foot on the ground, I want to go heel to toe, right? So, and then what it is, each step is my most important step.
Right.
So every time I make that step, I'm fully myself.
Right.
I'm never not myself. I'm always in that, wherever I'm at, I'm so happy being in self.
Right.
And then we talk about like the liberty in regards to when you come around my house, you see, I kind of spend my money on my home.
Yeah, I remember that. Rose like, man, I'm not gonna go spend no money at the club. I'm gonna spend all my money on me.
Yeah.
Like my lifestyle is in my
living in my home. When you come there, I want to. If someone can help me if I can pay a lady to help me clean up the place, so I can keep it spotless the way I like it, because I couldn't do it myself. I'm just too meticulous. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pay somebody to come and clean my house 6 days a week.
Yeah, because you was like, Ro, when it's time to go to the clubs, everybody, Ro was like, nah, I'm not gonna go to the club. Like the club is right here where I'm at.
Yeah, like that's what I figured out. I said, wait. It's where I'm at. It's happening. I'm the happening. But, you know what I mean? Meaning like in myself, bro. Because I make myself happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like right now, this is amazing. Nothing else matters. Why?
Yeah.
We're here.
But like that's why I say when you say your teacher, like when did you pick up the teachings of your teacher? When you say, okay, look, I'm gonna take on his teachings, or I'm going to take on this person. How do you judge the person that actually leads you? I think a lot of people, they inherit people, and they kind of just follow people.
Yeah.
But how do you find your person?
Wow. I tell you, it was like even spirituality, right? It's like I remember living in New Jersey at the time. Miss Lauren Hill, you come around all the time. We dinners and family stuff. You know her very well. Nice, beautiful queen. I remember just being around her and how wise and how early she was and is in her advancement in regards to just doing what she's doing at a young age.
Right.
You know what I mean? From 12 years old, working hard and stuff. And, I was in the system in regards to schooling system and following this path. But I realized like one day it's like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm an athlete, I love to play sports. But I need to do something I can do forever.
Right.
And what is it I can do forever? Is make myself a better human being forever, you know? So I figured out that, listen, if I can find something that's consistent,
Right.
like a tree.
Business.
Like a tree.
Yeah.
But the business I want to be in,
Yeah.
I want to be in business with a tree, you know?
That
That
has
it-
so many limbs.
Yeah, and when you water it, it's going to bear fruits.
Right.
And as long as you water this one tree, you're going to get thousands of fruits.
Yeah, it's the basis of it is the tree.
foundation.
Right.
So I want to be in a business with a tree that I take care of this tree, and this tree's going to provide for me. And I just keep taking care of the tree. And then what the tree provides, I got to be able to break that system down into a beverage, coffee.
Yeah.
So it was how I really got into it. I got to realize how to make, because what I said was like, listen, when you look at a man, right? You look at any man in this world, what we all have. We have hands, feet, eyes, but we all have the same things. But it's really like, how do we grasp that inner self to really know that what you're doing is right for you?
Right.
So when I
Not what somebody else telling you what's right for you. Like, how do you find out what's right for you?
I had to like, you know, because truthfully, my whole life, I was raised without mother and father. My father passed away when I was 9 years old. I moved to America when I was 12 years old. My mother stayed in Jamaica. So I kind of was raised with my granny and my uncles, who they were more disciplinarian. But in regards...
You went to, that's down south.
Yeah,
Like,
Uncle Richie.
what made the family choose Miami?
Well, you know, my granny at the time, you know, in Jamaica, you know, too long time history, they get jobs and different things. And through my grandma was living in Delaware.
Oh, up north.
Delaware, yes, that my father's mother. So now,
how did they go? Jamaica, Delaware.
Well,
What's
you
the
know,
significance?
well, you know, like work.
Oh, okay.
You know, they work. Sometimes they work on a cruise ship or something. Sometimes a family friend, because my granny was working with like the DuPonts. Like, you know, she was like you know, help out, you know, she wasn't a lawyer for the DuPonts per se.
Right,
My
right.
granny was like, she cleaned the place for them at times, and then to work, because, you know, like trying to find a better life. And, you know, you had someone from America, so living there, we end up in Delaware. So after my father in 1965, he worked in Delaware. He used to work at one of those like factories where you drive the forklift at night, you know. But he was a musician. He was making no money in Jamaica. Say, hey Bob, you know, we have a little job for you here. If you come to your grandmother will file, your mother will file for you. You come to America, have a job. But my father couldn't do that job. He's like me, you know.
Yeah, like, too much. I can't do that work.
So then, after my father became, you know, more popular in the music business and started making some money, he wanted his mother closer to him,
So he
closer
moved
to
her down to
Jamaica.
Miami.
Yeah,
Okay.
because only an hour and 15-minute flight from Miami to Jamaica.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why, and that was 1976.
So that's where the roots of
Yeah.
Bob coming through here.
Yeah, in
That's
1976.
So
Yeah.
you really was about to be from Delaware.
I wasn't gonna go Delaware State though.
You be
Close.
going to HBCU at Delaware Road.
Man, funny story. They turned me down, but we ain't gonna get into that right
Hold
now.
up, Delaware State turned you down, but the University
No,
of Miami picked you
Howard
up.
University turned me down.
Hold on. Bring that back. Bring that
Oh,
back. Bring
my
that back. Bring that
Lord.
back. You know, my son goes to Howard
Howard
University.
University. I
Oh,
know.
so Howard University.
I told you this.
Howard University turned down Rohan Marley.
They turned me down.
Do you hold that against them?
I did until nephew went there.
Oh, okay. So Howard University, he forgives you.
I do.
He
I
forgives
forget.
you. But yeah, so
Yeah.
bro, you could have went to Howard University. You could have been
I mean,
one of the greats that played at
Howard,
HBCU.
yeah, but they said, you know what? I remember this is a funny story. Cause you know, in high school I was everything. You know, on my team I had my own defense. The defense called Booyah Defense. I was in the newspaper every Saturday morning. Then the Hurricanes was in the newspaper Sunday morning, and the Dolphins in the newspaper Monday morning. But my defense was in the newspaper every Saturday morning.
Consistency.
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 The Booyah defense.
Hey, do you keep up with those boys?
Yeah, we do. We see them every now and again. I still talk to them. But I remember, I I had to get my own, like, I had to work my way into UM, like, in regards, because I love the school, because Robert Bailey one day, you know, he's a Barbadian, and he knew a Jamaican sister of mine, and I met him. He took me out to UM, so I fell in love with UM from before even going to school. And I used to go to the nightclubs early, so I see like Anthony Hamlin in the club, and this when I see Cortez Kennedy at school. So I fell in love.
But you coming from Jamaica at 12. How did you get University of Miami ties to be like, bro, anybody that see you, they know you are like University of Miami. Like, you bleed that orange and green. Like, you would think you was born into it, but you really supposed to went to Delaware State, man.
Howard was the one I love so much. But I mean, you know what? I remember in elementary school, they were playing football. For the first game I played in elementary was a thing called kickball. So it was like you kick the ball and you run the base, but you kick the ball and they throw the ball at you.
It's similar to like baseball.
Yeah, but it's a kickball. I'm coming from Jamaica with soccer, so I could kick the ball way out. So, but I'm never used to. I've never seen a game like this. I never played these games. Right. I don't play these games. I don't play baseball. I used to watch it on TV because we had a satellite, but I never played baseball. I never played these games. So I'm like, all right. So then the next PE day we had football.
And you thinking soccer?
Yeah. We have football today, right. And I'm thinking it's soccer.
But it's really like American football.
I'm dressed up like a soccer player. So I go out there. I said, "What's this?"
Nobody warned you, bro.
Nobody warned me. I said, "What's this?" I said, "Show me how that worked." He said, "You throw the ball like this and like that." And at the time now, this was like September when I started school, was 1984. So now during that time, the Miami Dolphins started to become really popular with Marino and Nat Moore, them years, right? When they played against San Francisco in 85. So when I fell in love with it so much because the kids I used to want to come back to school and tell them about what I want to talk about what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. So you want to kind of fit in.
I want to fit in. So I used to go there.
It's like Coming to America. Road Coming to America. Jamaican edition.
Trying to fit in, bro, you know. So I would do that. The Dolphin would lose. I go home and I beat the team on the Atari. I'll beg my uncle. I said, "Uncle Richie, throw me the football." He says, "Yeah, all right." Because he didn't want to throw me the football because it's a Saturday. You want to relax. Yeah. I said, because, you know, he was 4 years or 6 years older than me. So he's at high school sometimes. This man used to tell me, run an L route.
So you had your offense first.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I fell in love with offense.
Oh, okay.
But the position I loved was a quarterback.
Look at Rohan. Rohan, you're too short to be a quarterback.
I know, but I could throw the ball. Let me tell you my problem. I couldn't keep my hand under the center. I ain't into touching nobody's balls.
Oh, you told me you don't put your hand up under that, so you said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do
all that." I'm fumbling every time. I can't keep steady. I'm fumbling the ball, so that didn't work out for me. So they moved me to fullback. I said fullback because, you know, you can't, like, I used to be Jifty, you know. I'm like, I'm not gonna be blocking for this kid because you know how running back work. Yeah, running back is a system. You gotta know, like, I mean, I didn't even know which hand to be up. You know, they got
you gotta get the ball and run.
Yeah. So they had one of my brethren, Charles Rackley, who was like the running back kid. He know every pole. He know the offense, know blocking schemes. You know what I mean? You know, you gotta be smart to play running back.
So that's what makes you go to defense?
No, yeah, they pushed me over to cornerback my 10th grade year.
Palmetto High School.
I picked off every ball. I used the number 10 because I was a Pele fan, so I chose the number 10 as a cornerback. So you took
the soccer, football from your native, and then come over here and use that number 10. So, right. So how you go to the University of Miami and get number 2?
So I'm going to tell you the story. So then my spring ball, they moved me to strong safety. The first play, they throw a ball out the backfield to the running back, we in helmets. I hit him, bop. They're like, "What is he doing?" I'm like, I didn't know I thought once you got on the helmet, I could hit you, you know? You're on the helmet, but we're in shorts. What is he doing? The same day, the linebacker hurt his knee.
We need a linebacker.
Rohan
Marley, come on, this is your future.
This is where you're going to play. I said, linebacker. This time was Don Solinger, the coach.
That was my position coach.
That's your position.
So you was at Hold up, that's University of Miami.
When
But
he was
Don
with-
Salinger was at.
when he was Jimmy, all right. When Jimmy Johnson left, when Erickson came in, he didn't keep Coach Salinger. So Salinger took a break now for the
and he
spring
came to your school.
for spring ball because his son was in summer school there. So he
Oh,
came
okay.
there and just coach to hang out in like.
Man, we
the
got so
assist.
many ties, man. You
Yeah,
see,
man, it's
Coach
crazy.
Salinger,
Coach
Coach
Salinger
Don
is my-
Salinger was like the
Coach Salinger
greatest,
is my-
the greatest running back
He's
coach
my
ever.
guy. Coach Salinger
Yeah.
is my first teacher at linebacker. He's the guy
Yeah,
that
that's
said,
pretty-
"You're it."
I never knew that, bro.
Coach Salinger's the guy that told me I'm it. So I went there. They moved me to linebacker. I said, "Well, I can't use. I don't want to use number 10." I said, "What number do you want?" I said, "Give me number 44, the Bosworth."
44, the Bosworth. Oh, everybody was into the Bos.
I was
man,
into the
until you
Bos.
got ran over. Right?
By then, I was already out of Bos. I was already Rohan by then. So I took that number. Junior year, I remember I didn't know the plays. I used to have to ask the senior. I said, where do I go? They say, go there. I said, all right. They play the ball. I made every tackle.
So you're just a reactor.
I just a reactor.
Yeah,
I just
you're
go
just
where
a
the ball's
reactor.
at to learn the game. But I also wanted to know my whole,
Right.
A, B. So I started to learn that. Senior year, again, it was going to the summer. Erickson now moves into Miami.
Yeah, the University of Miami become the head coach, right?
His son is now at the school at
And he
at
says,
Palmetto.
"Hey, I have a guy. You got to get him on here."
I had to introduce because from Salinger time, and then
Yeah.
Coach Lubick, Sonny Lubick, the defensive coordinator, his son was going to the summer school as well, so I befriended them.
Yeah, now.
I introduced myself to the coaches. I work my own way. So Sonny Lubick, he says, "Listen, if you
You
pass,
connected the dots.
yeah, I couldn't myself.
Yeah.
No,
So you got yourself to the
I got
University of
myself
Miami.
to the University of Miami. I used to go and see Coach E when I was in high school. Just pull up at his house because I know where he lived. Because his son went to my school. His son
You
was
know,
on
you got
my
like
team.
you like legendary around the University of Miami. They say you had the Typhoon. So you the
I
only
came in
person-
with a Beamer, the convertible Beamer. They didn't too.
Like in
They weren't so
col-
happy.
Like in college, you got that. Like they had like Rohan rules. They used to always say Rohan don't get drug tested. Back then, everybody got drug tested. Rohan don't get drug tested. They said because it's a cultural thing, so they made exception for you.
Wow, I love it.
Is that true?
I mean, I don't know. Because I did smoke herb in college, but I never failed the test. I never failed the test. It was good because,
We can't get the University of Miami in trouble, but right
no, we're
now,
not getting them in trouble because I used to
They
take
had the Bob
I
Marley.
never failed the test.
Rohan Marley, the exception of, but that's a cultural thing.
Religious practices.
Yeah, the religious reasons. They say Ro can get high. They say Ro had the Typhoon. Like Ro had so many different privileges. Like you was legendary around there. We always heard about that. I'm coming in in 1996.
Right.
And they always talk about what Ro could do. Ro had all these rules that didn't apply to him. Like how can you play without getting a drug test? Like we get drug tests, they got us in there with this little cup
Yeah.
every week.
I did the cup thing. I did everything right.
You had somebody pee for you, Ro.
No, I didn't. I went in there. I did it. I used to take. But honestly, when they used to say, "Hey, Rohan, you have a drug test in the morning," I'll go to the Chinese man. I buy this herb juice, like herb tea, and I would drink a lot of it, like 2 gallons.
So Ro got the
I
ingredients,
had,
y'all.
I had
So
the
young
remedy. I had the
athletes-
remedy.
Nah, right now they got everything. It's kind of wide open right now. So nowadays,
It's better
how do
to
you
say.
feel? How do you feel about the world opening up
You know
to
what?
cannabis?
You know what? It's really important for us to know this because on my company, Line Order, my brethren, Mike James, which is your
University of Miami.
yeah, he's a business partner with us, and he's one of the first NFL players to really fight against the opioids, because he didn't want to take opioids because he had a really bad injury, and he didn't want to take opioids. So he was like a very combative, like an advocate for really herb as a medicinal component. So he's a part of our company now. He's a member of the Line Order company, such as you are. And we just love that. And I'm very happy where it is today because I know the stress and, like inflammation. Any type of inflammation is not good. you know. But the drugs that you take for the inflammation is even worse.
So why would they approve those things? Like, okay, from your stance, why do you think it took so long for them to be
You,
accepting of the marijuana or the cannabis?
like I tell you again, we go back to the guy that told you it was no good for you. This guy was probably 25 years old. He had no knowledge of anything. He's probably being like, what do you call those? A lobbyist. The guy that wanted a
You
few
probably had a motive.
a motive because you have another lobbyist that's pushing dollars into his organization so they can bring like a Bayers or a head something, some of these things, because you know big money always speaks, and because of these lobbyists that works with these pharmaceutical companies,
Right.
and they're lobbying for the government to pass these laws and hold back these laws as well as the tobacco industry, because once you know you smoke tobacco, you get cancer. You smoke herb, you elevate. So obviously they wouldn't want to see the herb become what it is today, which is a medicinal thing. You know, herb is medicinal.
But
And
what do you think? What took it so long for them to recognize that they
man,
have all these
be-
professionals?
you see, what took it so long again, brother? You know how everything works like this. If they can't tax it, they can't
So
tax
it's
it.
all business. So they're
It's
gonna
all-
actually.
It's
So
all
you're
business.
you're a
If they-
sacrificial lamb.
You're a sacrificial lamb. You know, like when you go to war.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the military. You know those guys. Those guys are sacrificial lambs. That's what it is.
But now we're moving forward. That's like the one thing I do appreciate about the where we are in this country, or things are moving forward. You know, like I like the
Love
athletes
that.
getting paid.
Love that.
Cannabis is here. Like we're actually
Yeah.
moving in the right direction.
Yeah, more
I just-
freedom, more free will. You know, like and more because you know what it is too. Like you talk about what it is to be a king and a lion, like we are. That's the awakening, because what makes you that is your awakening to the present moment of who you are, you know, and what you really bring to the table.
But how do you know who you are?
Well, us,
It's certain people know who they are, but
like
it's
we
certain
now,
people they
like
take a long
I'll give you a
time.
perfect example. The ones that know, it's our responsibility to let others know who they are while they're growing. You dig? So it's not that they don't know. It's like we were young at one point, didn't know, but now we know. But while we know, we see one of our young little lion cubs running around. Hey. Come.
But what if I let you know and now you one up me?
You see, you can't one up me, cause
So you have to be in
You-
a comfortable space.
yeah,
You
because
be
you have
comfortable.
to, and that's your humility. That's having humility. That's not having ego, because you can't one up me. No one can one up anyone, because at the end of the day, we all go to our separate ways and go home and close that door.
Right.
You know, so-
But right now you have certain people that want to keep people up under them because maybe their insecurity, or maybe they don't feel like they would be able to go up
tough.
any farther.
That's why we live in this. It's tough, you know. It's a society, man. You know, it's like that's the wrong stuff right there. You know, like them type of mentality. That's why That's why.
But
we
if
have to give
everybody was a
thanks.
king, then who's gonna do the work?
No, but everyone can be a king, because it's a time. You know what I mean? Because it's like everyone don't have the same know-it-all. It's like everyone can be a Hall of Fame running back. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna like play special teams? You know what I'm saying? It's rules. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really. You know what I'm saying, bro. Not everyone's gonna be president. Not everyone's gonna like be a leader. Some are followers, and some need to be led. But if you accept from the leader what you're being told or what you're being taught, this is what helps you in your own daily life, because everyone is really a king in their own way. You know what I mean? Because once you go in your household, that's your kingship, that's your kingdom as a human being. So within oneself, it's a matter about awakening that consciousness within ones and ones to realize that, listen, the same way you can open the fridge and get a glass of water when you're thirsty, the same way you can do anything else.
Right. So this right here was, but like we was talking about earlier, like is this something that you was taught, or it was embedded in you, or you went and
I
researched
promise
it?
you, it's gotta be. It was taught. Ain't no
was
embedded none and researched and embedded. It ain't just embedded. It's taught,
But you have to like
research,
to know
embedded.
to know yourself and to know the fact that like man, I'm like I'm a big dog, I'm a king, like
But it's
something
but
had to
it's
give you
like
that confidence.
but you know the king is right. The king is just believing in oneself. Like so when I say, if I say my stomach is hurting me to someone, and tell me nah, and someone said to me, "No, you're all right." I said, "What the fuck you mean I'm all right?" And I say, "No, my motherfucking stomach's hurting me. What do you mean I'm all right? Fuck you talking to?" So that's where it comes from. If I tell you something about me, how the fuck you gonna tell me about me? It's like relationships, right? How a relationship work for me? I always tell the woman, I say, "Listen, here what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you about me, and you're gonna tell me about you. Whenever you start telling me about me, it ain't gonna work."
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How you get Lauren Hill?
How I met Miss Lauren Hill? Well, I was lonely.
How did
I was
Rohan?
alone.
How did Rohan get
Marley
somebody from New Jersey? You
meets
down here at the
Lauren
University
Hill.
of Miami.
I must say this though, my brothers, because my brothers are musicians, and it was Smoking Groove tour in 1995. Right after I left college, I didn't know what I wanted to do with life. I was lost in regards
I
to.
thought you went to Canada. Didn't you go to
I
Canada?
go to Canada, but I couldn't stay over there. They don't play good football. I can't play that kind of football. That's not my game. I can't do it. I couldn't do it no more. And you know what they did to me in Canada? Can I tell you a Canadian story quickly?
Very.
And then all right, fine. Anyway, all right, I walked in the locker room, and after the last practice, before they're going to make the cuts, I walked into my locker room, and I came 2 weeks late to camp, so nobody likes me anyway. There's the vets on this side, and there's the rooks on this side. I walk in the middle of the locker room, and I look to my left, my right, and there's my locker. And on the face of my locker is a picture of a mass crashing into this picture, crashing into a windscreen glass, saying that the program is crashed. The University of Miami crashed.
Okay, that's back yeah.
You know that picture. It was on my locker. You know what I did? I said, yeah. I go to my locker. I take the picture off my locker. And I stand in the middle of the floor. And I slammed it on the floor. I told them, I said, let me tell you something. Because none of you motherfuckers play for Miami. And I walked
Real
out of the
Miami
locker.
Hurricane.
Yeah, because none of you motherfuckers play for Miami. I walked out of the locker room. They cut me, but they kept me. But I didn't like it up there. They don't play the kind of football I play. So I left. Went on the road with my brothers. Was Smoking Groove. I used to hear this beautiful voice. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, and I look, and one day I saw her walking in front of the bus with her guitar, and I blew the horn. Brum! And she looked up. I'm like, hey. And she kind of gave me a little smile. So another day.
But was she known then?
Yeah, they're number one.
No, so she was known.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know her like
okay,
that.
You didn't know her personally, but
she's known, popular, because when I've never seen this, because I remember I'm in college playing ball. I'm not into music and my brother's world. But when I would go, I say, you know what, and I always used to just stay back, because my brothers, they're very humble. They don't watch any other performances. They just go do their thing and they're out of there. So I used to stay with them all the time, First one at the venue, we're there all day long. And so I'm like, you know what, let me go take a look. Let me see what's happening. And I go watch her one day perform. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. I saw the people, the energy. They're moving and she fucking belting. I'm like, wow. Like, this woman can sing. I'm like, that's little old you singing like that? She's like, yeah. So one day, it was like 5 of my brothers walking, and it was just her alone, and we're walking this way, and she's coming this way, and I'm kind of on the end. Yeah. So when she walked by, I stuck my hand out like this, and she stuck her hand out, and we kind of hold hands, and I did like one of these numbers,
And just watched her walk.
Yeah. Right? And I stopped for a little bit, and that was it. So from that day, I pursued her. And we started a relationship, and it went wonderful. We have 5 beautiful children. I was very instrumental in helping her with the miseducation of Lauryn Hill in the first,
That's classic.
in regards to like, I was there day one. Hey, what you need? Oh, I need to find a guitarist. Oh, I know my dad guitarist. Oh, bro, I need to go down to, you know, I'm having a little issue in America here
Yeah.
because they didn't want her to really do this album. So I said, you know something? Come to Jamaica.
So that album was done in Jamaica?
Yeah, the beginning, the main parts of it. Yeah, the first part, like the one last one, last ones.
Yeah.
So we went to Jamaica and we laid the foundation for that album because I wanted to get her away from like the system up there.
Yeah.
'Cause they weren't so happy with her.
So
With
that's
me.
the Rohan move. You see him, you walk, and you just walk him, and that's how you.
Yeah,
That's your game.
I mean,
That's road game.
You gotta
Bro,
go.
your move,
You gotta
bro.
go for it. You gotta go. You can't let this walk you by.
This my shot.
This it.
This the shot.
This it. This is it.
You gotta take
That's
it.
her. She walking alone.
So
Here I
this
am.
my shot.
I feel confident. My brothers are with me. I feel like a lion. If I was probably by myself, I'd have probably walked by. I've been a little bit too nervous.
He said, I got my brothers, I got the big dogs with me.
I'm gonna show them now. I'm gonna show them who I am. So that was kind of help. That gave me kind of the boost, help
The confidence.
Yeah, it gave me the confidence. So yeah, bro. So that's kind of how I met
That's
Miss
some
Lauryn
good
Hill.
game, man. That's some
Thank
good
you.
game, man. You had your teammates with you to give you the confidence to
I had my
go.
teammates, man, pushing me on, and they didn't even stop and look. They already know what
They
time
didn't even
it was.
see the move.
But
didn't
of
see
course
the
they
move,
see
bro.
the move because they see I ain't walk. I'm not in the because we walking side by side, but they didn't do no stop and check.
Yeah,
They already
okay.
know I
Yeah.
fall back.
Bro pulled the move on them. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man.
So Miss Lauren is a legend, and I'm very happy that we met that day and that we pursued and had a beautiful life together and beautiful children. So she continues to be a legend, and she's still working and doing wonderful things. So I'm proud of that.
That's pretty dope. I just saw on the show, she brought you on stage.
Yeah, in
That was
Brooklyn.
pretty cool, but it's pretty cool, to have maintain that that relationship.
But you've been to my daughter's. You've been to Sailor's 18th birthday.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
You were there at the birthday, the dinner. Yeah, so you've been. Yeah, Edgerrin and I, we've been family
man.
a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty cool to Barry just like after all those years still maintain the same level of respect
love that.
for
You have
each
to.
other.
You know what? I respect her. Like I respect her in a way, like more than just like a woman that I was with her. I respect her like a really high level queen stuff because I promise you, she's got to be one of the smartest person I've ever met in my life. I mean, she's so intelligent, brother. Like, man, I'm like, wow. So I look at her like really like, I didn't make her a queen. She was already a queen. She was already
But she knew she was a queen.
She knew she was a queen.
And she recognized the queen.
you
She
know
recognized the king and Rohan. So
And
you
guess
did
what?
this.
This way now, a queen can't walk alone, neither can a king. So that was kind of my first, if you really want to know the first liberty of the king life, that's when
That was it right there.
when I met that queen, is I stepped into my kingdom and my kingship. And that's when my life began as like this Rohan, because I got to hold it down. Like, what am I?
Yeah.
I'm with this great woman. I got to step it
You
up.
got to step it up.
You got to step it
Yeah.
up.
You can't let her one up you.
You can't one up me.
So Rohan, everybody knows when you hear the name Marley, you talk about the legendary, one of the greatest, and one thing we talk about on Create the Life, I like to always inspire, motivate, uplift people, and also give insight. And for you as the child of one of the greatest people or greatest human beings that have left a lasting impression on so many people, like I would like to know from you, and I think the viewers or anybody that's looking, like, what does it take to become great from and greatness, it goes into so many different levels. But your father has went to a level that nobody really, it's hard to compare to. So when you see greatness, not only from a sports standpoint, you know, what does it take, or what do you see in people like your father or people that's great that makes them great?
I would say, like, to really sum that up, I would say I would never try to copy my father's life. I want to be a continuation. Like, I want to be the vision that he saw. That is what I want to manifest. I don't want to be what my father is or was. I want to be the things that he talked about doing, and I want to be the change that he talked about making.
Right. So, but when you see him, like, what made him so great?
I think what made him so great was his commitment to the truth, his commitment to the Most High, and his commitment to the love of people. Because my father's main thing was, you know, if I have two, I give you one. Meaning, you know, in regards to theoretically, not so and so, but he's always a help your brother, man, you know. So my father had this compassion for people, and I feel like that compassion, and also how he was raised, you know, how he came from a white father, a black mother, looked down upon by everyone because he was considered corruption, you know. So being like that, an outcast, he had to find a father, and he found that father in Haile Selassie I, and through the teachings of Rastafari and being able to implement that in our daily lives, which is where you try to find that God consciousness. I think that's what makes him so great, because he's able to live the life that he speaks about.
Right. And you know, you see somebody like Bob Marley, it's like it's hard to duplicate that. And I think I look at it as pretty much impossible.
Can't be duplicated.
But you know, there's always another level, there's always another person.
But imagine this, right? So the father, so the son, and the son is to be greater than the father. You know why? Because the father has
supposed to give him everything.
That's it. And then plus what you have. So the father, you have all of your father, and then you on top of your father's knowledge. That is just greatness upon greatness. So you're to be greater than your father. And that is what it really is, because we have all of that experience and that knowledge that he has experienced for you. It's yours. That's what he built. So you're supposed to build upon that. So imagine, you're not supposed to build next to your father. No, you build onto your father, make your father.
You add on to it.
Add on to your father.
But it's just for some reason, you know, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or, you know, we don't embrace, you know, the fathers, or we don't embrace the people.
It's a Babylon thing, because Babylon here, right? Babylon know the stronger the man is because of the strength of the father, right? And Babylon know if they can keep the man weak, if they can keep the father and the son separated, then the son will have a leader. So this way they can
advance.
Yeah, and this way you're lost. Like you
need your father.
Tougher to advance. It makes it tougher.
And it comes down to common sense. You think about it. Like if I'm the son of somebody great, and I got all this instilled in me, and plus I have this new era that I have one up on.
Yeah, that's magic. That is where you have to grasp it. I cannot relive my father's life. I can't walk in my father's shoe, but I can continue his footsteps.
Right, and I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, bro.
And you know, one thing about it, I know y'all have the movie coming out. It's a movie coming out that's gonna speak on a lot of those things, and you know, I think everybody's looking forward to it. So tell me about the movie, like Rohan. Like, when will I see Rohan in the movie?
You see me in the end, because you know it's a certain time period, because the time period is like I think in 1975 during the assassination attempt on my father's life, and my brother Ziggy, he really did an excellent job into telling the story of my dad, just his whole life encapsulated in that short period of time. But he was able to, like we talked about that 90 seconds, is being able to bring in that 90-minute or whatever amount to really, the key points we talk about, those 5 pillars that we talk about.
It,
right. And the 5 pillars that we talked about are the 5 pillars in this movie that's called One Love. It's a beautiful love story. you get to understand Mama Rita, how compassionate and how beautiful a soul she is, and how loving she is to all of Bob's children. You get to find out how Bob is as a man and who he is as a man, and how he came up through life and had no handouts. You know what I mean? He had to really work hard for it, and it's what it is. And really, the truth, you know, it starts with your mother and your father, of course, and you need both. It's balance, and this movie is going to show you a lot of that with my dad, because there's always a strong woman in a strong man's life as well as a strong man, you know. So this is what's important for us, and it's called the One Love movie, and it's coming out February 14th.
No, that's gonna be great. I'll make sure I check it. But I have for me, it's everything that I know about Bob and know through you, it's nothing but positive, positive, positive. And then you talk about somebody trying.
It's so truthful, bro.
This where I'm confused. I'm confused because I have never heard not one thing negative coming from Bob or coming about Bob when it comes up to the person. And then when you talk about this movie based on an assassination, why would a person want, you're the son, and you have more information, more detail.
Sure.
Why would a person want to assassinate a great person that's only here to help and uplift?
Man, it's such a horrible place, you know, such a horrible set of people. Most mentality, you know, greed, jealousy, envy, and lust, you know, all these negative things. So why that took place was my father is a man that he took no sides. And in Jamaica, in those times, it was very strong, the politics, which was a one group called Jamaican Labour Right Party and the People's National Party. One was more of like a Castro favorite guy, and the other one was more like a Reagan kind of favorite guy, like an American favorite guy. So because of that system, and during the election time, one party felt like if my dad would do this performance, he's gonna create more votes for the other party.
The other side. And so they really, it takes a great
they
rather
annihilate him instead of losing the election.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then my father, he, you know, like you said about the positive way of my dad, you know, he went and lived in England, and then he came back to Jamaica because the place was going crazy because they couldn't believe what took place, and he tried to bring peace again by bringing those two guys on stage.
So he was a true advocate.
Of course,
he was a true advocate of
he's
peace.
a real. Yeah, he won a peace medal from like the system.
But it's
really
kind of crazy that people want to, you know, just to win.
But you know, like
an election.
But it's no different than the early days. You know, when we go forward into in the times of Christ, you know, it's the same things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just because this man is over here preaching about such thing and he doesn't go in regards to your systematic way, he's not in a suit and tie, or he's not wearing you know, yeah, the same things. You just don't, you're not following the system.
Yeah, if you're not going to be one of the guys that kind of stay in line, we're going to do something about it.
Yeah, and you talk about the financial freedom.
Right.
Financial freedom is what helps us to kind of be able to move out of
it gives you a voice.
Yeah.
It gives you a true voice. And that's
true
why
voice. Yeah.
You know, like in creative life, and I also take pride in having financial freedom because it gives you a chance to be. I get a chance to live free.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that I don't have to put up with this or put up with that.
Absolutely. But you work for that. That was not like, you didn't just born like that. No.
It's not given.
No, it's not given. It's like you had to be still and be focused on your craft, and your craft was able to do this, and now you're able to build upon that. Because remember, most of the things that we do in life, in the beginning of our stage of life, is a physical way. When we find the true science of self and be able to not have to use our physical,
right,
to
you go from up here.
Yeah.
You know, you use your hands when you're young.
Yeah.
You use this when you're older.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
You know, but that's great insight.
True.
I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that, you know, you see the why. behind the different motives and the different moves.
Truly.
And then, like for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you're a businessman, and I know you created Lion Order.
Yeah.
Lion Order. Like I see it on every one of your posts. I see it on everything. It means a lot to you, but I think it has more significance than just being a brand. And sometimes you look at brands, they're just a selling point or something that you can profit off of. I think when I look at Lion Order, I think of you live it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, so define what is Lion Order to you.
I'm going to define Lion Order now. So, and Lion Order can be defined in an instance. So one day, and this is me looking on the outer perspective of outer self, I was in a safari, and I was going down the little track with the Jeep. So I saw the lion coming this way. So I stopped the Jeep, and the lion kept walking because it was sundown. And the pathway that I'm on, in front of me, there's like 200 gazelles and all different type of animals. And the lion is coming this way, and we stopped the vehicle. The lion on his pathway, at no time did the lion break a stride. At no time did the object, interfere with where he was going, or what was in his mindset to do, or what was in his pathway to go, or where he was going. He did not look neither left nor right. And what I noticed, when the lion held his head straight and he walked across the vehicle, in the background, I saw every animal frozen.
Everybody froze.
Everyone frozen, and the lion just going about his way because he's not looking for food. It's sundown. His day's done. He's going with the sun. He's going to go set.
But his presence.
So what I learned is that a lion is a lion every single day. A lion wakes up a lion, goes to sleep a lion. A lion is a lion. So what we call Lion Order is really returning to self. And that's the kingship we talk about, is really governing oneself and believing in oneself, knowing that your thoughts are your thoughts. And you have to be able to discern within yourself to know between truth and rights. And when you start living in truth and rights, this is when you walk as you are. You don't have to look left or right.
You just be.
You just be. And that is Lion Order. Just be.
No, Lion Order, I have more respect for Lion Order. So that's a good story, bro. But that's like, when you think about the lion, like he's always a lion.
He's always a lion.
You got different people, they change, they turn into this, they turn into that.
The lizard.
But the lion this is what he is.
What do you call that thing? The frogs, this one, that one.
Yeah.
Even the piglets turn into pigs.
So, yeah. It's great.
Chicklets turn into chicken.
But, it's great, man.
That's thank you.
But we're here with Create the Life. My thing is to, I believe everybody has a possibility or opportunity if they give themselves enough credit to be and live this life. I don't think one person should live something that the other person don't have the opportunity to. But some people are gonna have one up, or they're gonna have a little advantage. But you still get a chance to live it because
you still got a chance.
We're all human beings.
You're still here. You still.
Yeah.
The greatest thing is, once you exist, you got a chance.
You got a chance, and that's my whole thing. Is like, and that's the basis of Create the Life. Create the Life is like, what do you deem as right? What do you think is good for you? It's like, what would you do if money wasn't an issue?
Right.
That's the true you.
Right.
Whatever you do, if nobody judged you, was the issue. And that's where I look at, when I look at Create a Life, I was like, you want people to step into themselves and say, man, look,
important.
It's a beautiful life because we have this window, this timeline from 0 to whenever it's over. That's your story.
Yeah.
And within that story, I hope to inspire people to, man, you got
do.
to go out and live. You got to motivate
I must tell you.
to say, look, you got to say, like, dude, I'm coming from one of the poorest towns in the state of Florida, probably in the U.S., but I get a chance to live a life because up here mentally. I said, look, I'm not gonna do what everybody else do.
Why?
And not saying I'm not special because I think I'm special.
We special.
We're all special.
We all special. You better recognize.
You have to recognize that, other people, they have special in themselves also. But you have to recognize it, and then you have to go and live it. You have to really step out on the limb to live it.
It's a daily. It's like we talk about the lion. There's not a day the lion don't find food to eat.
Every day he's gonna find it. Like he's gonna do what's necessary.
He's gonna do what's necessary.
And it's good. It's good that you said that because the things you prioritize, the things that are important to you, you're gonna find. You're going to make sure that you have them.
That's why you see John today, and you're gonna see John next week. John might have a soft story, but man, John, you all right? Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I made it through. I know you would. John,
every day.
Every day. John not survive.
But that's what it's about. And then,
Facts.
like a lot of times, you really don't know. And I think it's the lack of information and a lack of confidence. I think we have a lot of insecure people that really don't believe in themselves. And I hope to inspire, motivate, uplift people to say, man, look, man, it's not what you think it is. I'm coming from one of the poorest towns, and I'm hanging with some of the most wealthy people. And I'm saying,
they're hanging with you too. They're hanging with you too. Just remember that.
But the thing about it is, it's like you're starting to see, like, man, look, it's all possible. That's
everything.
Everything is possible.
Truly so. And Edgerrin, I must say, man, my brother, you inspire a lot of people every day.
I appreciate it.
And everyone is watching you. Everyone, because it's why you do it, because you know that their eyes are always on you, because you're one of, 340 people?
350 or 60 people, but
360
that's
people.
From a sport,
that's a sports thing, but you're not playing sport,
right?
But you're still that. You're still, if you pull up a book, it's forever.
Right.
There's not many. Your legacy. You built that, and now with your mind and your tenacity. I mean, we're this podcast. We're in Orlando. You're in Atlanta. You're in Miami. Come on, man. And it's just watching you manifest the things that you say you're gonna do, and that's what I call create the life.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate. Because that's what it's about. It's like it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about this person. It's about the whole. If you see something you like, see something you're into, I take pride in I'm not harming nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not disrespecting nobody. Everything is positive. Why can't I get what I want?
Yes,
that's what I ask myself every day. Why can't I have it? And I don't see no reason anybody can't have whatever they want, especially if you're doing it the right way.
Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Integrity.
Yeah, you have to have integrity, and you have to, I always base things on loyalty, principle, sacrifice. Those three things right there, they have been like a foundation for myself forever.
It's for everyone.
But those things right there can take you so far, but you have to be willing to.
You got to be willing.
You got to be willing to stand in the paint, because
there
are going to be some people that's going to challenge you. The challenges are coming. It's like we always have this thing that say adversity causes people to break, others to break records. I chose to break records.
That's right.
It's like
it's a fact.
Because that's lion order every day. Every day.
That's lion order. I'm telling you, because there's failure too. There's and I always for instance, if we can ever have a mirror, but the mirror, you need to be able to be still, and you need to be able to watch yourself.
Yeah, you got at the same time yourself on the outside looking in.
If you can watch yourself, you see how wonderful you are as a person, how great you are, how strong, because it's the time we don't get to reflect on self. Because human beings in general, man, we're really, really strong people. But if you don't recognize, if you don't look into your own eyes and check yourself, come on, man.
Yeah, you have to. I like that analogy, because if you can look in the mirror, but you stay still and see yourself, then you'll see the same things that you judge.
You
And once you remove yourself from judging things because you're judging yourself, you know,
judging yourself.
and those are things I think a lot of times it's like
you-
they call it like you contradicting yourself or you're being a hypocrite.
You said a key
you know.
word.
You have to
Sort the
you have
man.
to stop that. You have to stop that. You have to look at it like be realistic. All the way
These
around.
words here, right? As you talk about judge, you know, some men think it, so is he, you know. Your thoughts are your thoughts. Your words are your words, you know. So you got to watch your words, man. Because you see what you say. If you can walk around this earth, like, one of the first things, this is how another way I became this type of man. I said, you know what? But it's a practice though.
Right.
I had to practice it. I said, you know what? I'm going to walk around and every woman I see, I'm going to see them from above their shoulders. So I had to remove my carnal mind.
To remove, like they say, you beat a man with the visual, you meet the woman with the words. You took out the visual, and now you're trying to see a person as who they are.
Who they are. Remove the carnal mind. So, like, I found myself, because it's the kingship, right? A king head up, you know. A king don't look down, you know. A king is head up. So it's a part of the posture and how you go through life. You see people above, you know.
Right.
You don't lust. You don't, because why do I need to look at you? For what reason?
Right.
I need to look into your eyes. I didn't need to look at you.
Know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. I don't, what matters color shirt you wearing? What does it matter to me?
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's where the judgment gets removed.
Right.
You see when we can start to see, and it's a thing we're not seeing eye to eye.
Right.
They say, "Oh man, I want to see." No, eye to eye. We gotta live like that. This is where we gotta live. We gotta walk head up and look above the shoulders, so you don't get to, because everyone's head is just.
But it's gonna tell the story.
It's gonna tell the story.
If you talk to them long enough, you look in the eyes and you see the way they move
The-
and you see
everything.
the things that they reply.
Everything.
It give you a lot of insight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's factual.
Yeah.
So we like to look at life and we give thanks, you know. So brother, thank you for this beautiful opportunity, and you know, let me say that again. Brother, thank you for this beautiful opportunity. And you know that I always want to do this with you, man.
Nah, anytime. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this more
We
because
gotta
this right
do
here.
this. This is
it's like with
medicine.
With me and Rohan, it's not so much as we're doing an episode or we're doing a segment. This is a lifelong journey that we both sharpen each other, because I've learned a lot from Rohan.
And it's not just today. We talk about it all the time.
Always.
We write each other. We
Yeah.
write.
But we have an opportunity to uplift and
Others
actually
now. Yeah.
help other people, and I think that's the end goal, to be able to put people in a position, or put even the mindset,
Yeah.
because the mindset is where it starts, and that's one of the pillars of the creative life.
Absolutely.
You talk about the mindset, because when you shape the mindset, everything else will fall in place.
That's what it is,
Yeah.
because the thing starts there, you know. People think that everything starts here, but it really starts here.
It starts right here. It starts the way you look at things. Yeah. But, you know, hey, I want to appreciate Rohan.
Thank you.
I thank Rohan for coming on, taking his time, you know, to kind of talk about things, because we have so many things to talk about. You know, this is right here is just a very small part of me
Chapter
and
1.
Rohan's conversation. So you'll see Rohan more on the Creative Life podcast, but this is more to give people insight, give people a little bit of knowledge, not from a historical standpoint, but even from a present. You know, Rohan's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. You know, he did everything you could possibly do, and he lives the life. When we talk about creating a life, Rohan lives that life. You know, like when I pull up on Rohan, you know, you don't know what to expect, but it's always going to be something that stands out that you can take and say, I can add to my collection or my lifestyle. So I appreciate you, Rohan, and until next time, brother.
Rastafari. Thank you.